Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Moran with Gulf Coast Regional Blood Center. October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and today we're going to have a discussion about breast cancer. We're going to learn a little bit more about diagnosis, early detection, treatment, and the importance of giving blood to help those who are in the fight. I'm so excited and honored to have a Surthriver, Lyndsay Christian, here with us today. She is an Essence magazine writer who is sharing her story with the world about breast cancer, and she's also a media personality. Hi, Lyndsay. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. I really want to dive right into your journey and your story. Can you take us all back to the first time that you were diagnosed with breast cancer?
Sure. In the summer of 2019, around July, I felt a lump in my right breast. So and I tell this to everyone, if you feel something, if you see something, if you feel something, say something. So I made an appointment to meet with my gynecologist, really for my well woman exam. It was during that exam that she felt something and detected something she knew it was not normal and ordered what was my very first mammogram. Because of course I'm under the age of 40, so I hadn't even thought about scheduling a mammogram. So it was my very first mammogram. I also had a 3D mammogram and breast ultrasound because of my dense breast tissue to get a more comprehensive analysis of the tissue. And after a biopsy, it was determined that a lump that I discovered in my right breast was indeed cancerous. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, stage 2B. Triple negative breast cancer is an aggressive subtype of breast cancer in which the cancer cells grow at rapid speed. So the earlier it's detected, the better, so that it can be treated and prayerfully, hopefully eradicated and melted away, as my oncologist likes to say, melted away through chemotherapy treatment.
So I said first time, but that's the only time because you're a Surthriver.
That's right.
And I want to let people know about what did you feel when you received that news?
When I received a phone call from the radiologist, I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the bathroom at home, and the radiologist actually left me a voicemail to ask me to call him back. And I was like, oh gosh, this has to be some news that I don't want to hear. And I called him back, and he said, I'm sorry, Lyndsay, it's breast cancer. And I went into shock. I just went into shock. I couldn't believe the words that were coming through the telephone. And it took me a very long time to even say the C word. But when I articulated it, I think that became more empowering. But I was operating on autopilot because I just didn't know what to do. And I was trying to process, well, what exactly does this mean for me? How could it happen to me? I didn't know my family history at the time. In fact, I learned of my family history midway through chemotherapy treatment, that the BRCA1 gene mutation runs rampant on the paternal side of my family. The BRCA1 gene mutation, BR stands for breast, CA cancer, puts me at higher risk for breast and ovarian cancers. So had I known earlier in life that gene was very active on the paternal side of my family, I could have taken preventative measures, but everything happens for a reason. And all that to say, Kelly, to answer your question, how did I feel? Emotionally, I was just beside myself. I couldn't believe it. And I was extremely sad because I didn't know what that meant for my life. But I knew that my life would change, and it did forever.
So what was your support system? How did you get from hearing the news to going through the treatment?
So I was living in the New York City area at the time, and if you know anything about New York City, you know it's fast moving. Logistically, it can be a nightmare to get around. And my support system is home here in Houston. So I relocated back home, hopped on a one-way, flew back home, and met with a highly recommended breast surgeon who happens to be a family friend. And that was really that first consult was the start of the journey. So she laid out the plan of treatment, and what that would look like, the surgical plan, and the months ahead, and what to expect.
So what did treatment actually look like and feel like? And what could you give a little insight to people to understand if someone is going through treatment, what are they going through?
Mm. My treatment regimen was very aggressive. 15 rounds of chemotherapy. Four of those rounds were of a very aggressive medicine called the Red Devil. I mean, the medicine is red. It's really, those were the hard ones to power through. And then I had weekly treatments of Taxol, which is the lighter, if you want to call chemotherapy, the lighter medicine. So I powered through 15 rounds of that. I experienced the side effects, lost my hair, my nails darkened. I did experience fatigue. Those were really the hardest parts, the side effects that I would say really affected me. But Kelly, just put on my pink boxing gloves and I powered through it. Literally, I took kickboxing classes when I at the Strength and Energy. I took Zumba. I really tried to maintain a sense of normalcy. So for any woman or man who's going through treatment, I would encourage them to maintain a sense of normalcy, maintain your daily routine as much as possible. Because the moment you allow the breast cancer or cancer to take over you, you will seep into that. You'll sink into that dark place. But if you take over the cancer, it will empower you to power through your treatment, your journey.
I just got chills. And to think to have that type of courage, to the fatigue, everything that you would be going through, to go to kickboxing every day and to show up for chemo, that had to be like just facing like a monster. And you said pink boxing gloves.
I have these little, I should show them. I have these mini, so when I signed up I actually took a trial of kickboxing classes at a boxing club here in Missouri City. And one of the really sweet ladies at the front desk gave me these miniature pink boxing gloves that you could like hang on the rear view mirror of your car. So I hung them on my door, but they were reminders that I was fighting breast cancer, like figuratively and literally. So when I went in for class, I would just punch out and just punch those bags like I'm knocking this cancer out of my body. It's all in mindset. It was all in a mindset, a positive mindset. But one in which I would not let cancer take over me.
Yeah, it's really powerful. I know we talked a little bit about the different types of treatment and your doctor saying maybe you would need a blood transfusion or maybe platelets. What type of discussion did your doctor have with you about that?
So Kelly, one of the discussions that my oncologist had with me before I started chemotherapy is the discussion around my white blood cell count and the red blood cell count. So if my white blood cell count dropped really low, then I couldn't get chemo, number one. And if it dropped significantly low and affected my body in a way that I would need support, i.e. via blood transfusion, then that would be that's when I would have to be rushed to or go to the hospital. And I'm so grateful to God that didn't happen. But there are cases in which chemo patients experience those tremendous side effects and would have to undergo a blood transfusion. But my oncologist did prepare me and warn me in advance that my body could react in such a way that it would need support through a blood transfusion, which is why I encourage people to donate and give blood, because it can support a man or woman who is really fighting for his or her life.
I think you just said man or woman. I think a lot of times we forget that breast cancer also affects men.
That's right. There is, I think it's a 1% chance that men would be diagnosed with breast cancer. In fact, I talked to Dr. Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad, yesterday. He was diagnosed the same month I was diagnosed, July 2019. And he refers to it as male chest cancer. But he's advocating now around the fact that men need to be empowered with information just as much as women. Men should be seeking mammography support if needed, if they detect something or if they see blood discharge or anything that's abnormal in their chest, to seek immediate attention and immediate health attention rather.
So, what would you tell people out there that are like taking in this information? What can they do to stay healthy and stay on top of their health in the upcoming future, especially when it's surrounding Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
So for women, it's important that we conduct weekly, I say weekly, I would say daily, self breast exams. Our bodies change month to month. So knowing your body and doing those checks proactively will help you to stay on top of your health. Schedule your well woman, schedule your annual physicals, men. Eat a balanced diet, eat healthy foods, your veggies, your fruits, drink plenty of water. The reason why, Kelly, I had a positive prognosis, and the reason why I was able to fight breast cancer the way I did is because I was healthy before diagnosis.
Yeah.
The only thing that was interfering with my I guess you could say my health status was my DNA, the BRCA1 gene mutation. If it weren't for that, I would not have been diagnosed, or rather my percentage of diagnosis would have been lower. But I was healthy before, so I was able to withstand that aggressive, that really, really hard treatment. So I encourage people to own their wealth. Health is wealth now, not, the latest bags and shoes and clothes, but what makes us wealthy is our lifespan, is our life, is our health. Exercising. I tried every day to go walking during chemo and during treatment, and that helped my body just to maintain this level of strength I needed to power through. So everything that you hear, just like the doctor says, eat an apple a day to keep the doctor away. Well, exercise, drink lots of water, eat the right foods, because what we put into our bodies, how we care for our temples, is how our bodies will respond.
Exactly. That's really good advice. So, tell me about when you rang the bell.
Ooh, uh, it was so symbolic. I rang the bell December 30th, 2019. So it was symbolic that I was ringing out chemotherapy and ringing in the new year chemo free. So it
Wow.
was symbolic. The nurses and all of the staff were standing around with my family as I read this litany about, angels on earth. I mean, it was just so powerful. It was extremely emotional. But what a moment. I when I was diagnosed in July, I could not have seen December 30th, right? I couldn't see that far ahead. But it was a celebratory moment because I claimed the victory. I powered through chemotherapy, and I got through that hard part. That was really the hard part.
Yeah.
And then after chemotherapy, after I rang the bell, I had to wait 2 months, and then I had the bilateral mastectomy, which is a major surgery.
Yeah.
And then breast reconstruction, which was more of the fun part, if there is a fun part in it all.
You guys gonna find the light somewhere.
That's right.
And then I guess that's the perfect transition to why you say Surthriver.
I survived breast cancer, and I am thriving in my journey. I love the word thriver because it gives us this sense of positivity and this sense of progression and forward movement. Because you survive and then you could just kind of stop, but you can survive and then keep it moving. You can continue to educate, empower, so inform and inspire and empower women and men. This is what I'm doing through my platform, my Surthriver platform. So I learned so much, Kelly, during my journey, so much information. And I learned about the resources that are available to women who are diagnosed. And I just want to share. I want to keep the conversation going beyond the month of October. I want to educate and do all I can to advocate and to ultimately save women's lives.
That's amazing. What would you say to someone that may have been recently diagnosed, or a family member of that person, or someone that's going through chemo treatments right now? What would you say to leave with them to inspire them and help them through?
I would tell someone who is undergoing treatment right now, you will get through it. You will power through. It's only temporary. Maintain a positive attitude, surround yourself with positive energy and people, and you will get through it. There is a sparkly light at the end of the tunnel. And I am really a walking testimony to God's grace and mercy and how he is a healer. He healed me and he will heal you too. You have to believe it. You have to believe it.
That's amazing. And I just want to tell people out there, if you're looking for a way to help these people through their journey and in the fight, that you can go out and you can donate blood, you can give blood, you can use the different resources out there on the website. And we'll also share your website, Lyndsay, as well. And I really want to thank you for sharing your courageous journey. Thank you for inspiring others and helping them through the fight and really bring more awareness for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.